You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone.
Orange.
Surprise on the mix.
YouTube and also now our website where All right, good morning and welcome to the midweek edition of the Liberty Breakfast Show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV where they stream na Facebook, YouTube and also now our website where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We where they bring the program come to you this Wednesday morning, Mina Koidu Bangura.
And Mabel Kaba, good morning. Today, now Wednesday and at the midweek, and inside this midweek edition of the Liberty Breakfast Show, we can talk about the global index reports we come for 2025, where they show say, in terms of country them what happen at the world, then put alone 46 out of 147 countries them where this report cover. Well, what does this mean for a country for less alone the bottom the list? We go discuss some inside the program this morning.
Well, also you go know, but the decision where Koidu Limited after industrial strike we don't go on for about 3 weeks now na kono usai the first lady Madam Fatima Biose na in they lead this strike because he say in a kono picking and they ask for better condition of service. Well, yesterday finally Koidu Limited inside letter where they write to the Minister of Mines, the Minister of Labor, and serve that of the Chief Minister. They said and they suspend their workforce because they want to protect their assets them. And they say political interference, especially from the First Lady, this make them they suspend their workforce. What does this mean for a company like Koidu? Do they pay tax to government? All of that you go know inside the program this morning. And also want for say maybe I don't know if I for say congratulations to Leon Stars for that excellent performance day yesterday. But me personally, I want to say congratulations. The boys then put up a very good performance because we all know the team would then go meet for play a team like Egypt. Not so easy task. And you get star player they like Mo Salah them for play with them and then put up that kind of performance then they I think they're very good one.
You know, many of we already predict the outcome of the game in as much as we expect, say, it will turn otherwise. But they do their best because anybody ask in football, just by the way how they select the teams, then when you see Salon and Egypt, you know Egypt and background from football. You're going to expect, say, it's going to be a tough match, although the boys them try. But we wish them all the best for all the other match them we don't left, you know. So many Salon people they will be done to make some comments. They not be like how the game, how the game been starts, how Salon player them be they do. But whatever the case might be, the boys then try, then put in their energy, then self go for a win. Or last self a draw. But unfortunately, it is what it is. We still want to say congratulations to Ona because game then kissing a biscuits, now win or loss. We not take this as loss, but we go learn from them.
Absolutely. And also congratulations to you, Mohamed Kalon, for that excellent performance there. Yes, the boys then play, but now you set up your team where go challenge Egypt, and everybody watch the game one for accept or agree, say yes, you try. And based on the comments there, because yesterday even they follow social media closely, knowing how Salomon lost, how the social media can tense, but everybody seemed calm and appreciate the efforts where Coach Kalon been do for set up that kind of wonderful team they will take on Egypt. Well, we wish the boys there all the best, and we wish you Darling Leon star head coach Mohamed Kalon all the best and other future games them. We know say this is a start and the future already look bright. Well, again, I want to say congratulations to we, Mabel, na Liberty TV. Congratulations to the entire team. We are proud for get such hardworking team. Yesterday we clocked 20,000 followers on Facebook, and on Thursday we clocked 30,000 followers on TikTok. The numbers keep rising. Una self we don't support Liberty TV. One for say many thanks, because if not so for una, we not for there today. And Liberty TV come for redefined how journalists them they operate at the digital space, and one for say we feel proud for be the first journalist them we establish a digital news agency, and they like today Liberty Day every side where you want for look for authentic information. So man can say, hey, but Khadija, we're not the biggest online TV, we're not carry with news. These comments, they keep we going, and we get a very solid team behind the Liberty success. We want to say congratulations to the entire team. Congratulations to everybody, and you know, a member of Liberty, because Liberty not a win no more way they come before the screen, makeup of Liberty TV. There are other people where they work tirelessly behind the scene, where una know they see. One for say we appreciate them, one for say una all thank you for the support. Liberty will continue for go high, just they go high, sure. And with time.
Of course, and most parts of the credits back they go to reviewers, and because I can see dedicated followers, and they will, as soon as we come on and they ask people for like and share, and when you like and share, the numbers and they grow, and we really appreciate say when I like and share every day, and when I really be proud for the part of this family. We're not gonna let you not down on our expectations. Them we self get we expectations and where we they work for. And sure say we meet all we target them for bringing come all the credible factual news them, and for be punctual for going updates in every content where we create na Liberty TV.
All right, well, for now we can proudly say we get 50,000 followers both na Facebook and TikTok. 20,000 at Facebook and 30,000 at TikTok. One for say thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, we continue with the breakfast show, and quickly we go to the issue we get for do with Koidu Limited. Also yesterday they issued 3 letters, one to the Minister of Mines and also to the Minister of Labour. Quickly, the technical team just project the letter them so that we viewers them go see exactly what's in Koidu Limited they try for communicate, because for them believe say political interference don't come inside and work, and this now one where then say they hamburg the work way then they, and also then talk about other different issues then we get for do with the industrial strike inside a letter where they write to the Minister of Labour when Honorable Mohamed Tejan Mansaray then say then they immediately implement care and maintenance due to illegal industrial strike. Well, this strike would have gone according to Koidu Limited, then say na illegal industrial strike, and then say although they don't they try for get negotiation them with the authority them way concerned, then say up till now they're not able for get a headway. And they also say if they don't come to their attention, say with considerable concern them, say external political interference, particularly from Her Excellency the First Lady Fatima Bio, and this don't make the situation don't really go out of hand, and the employee them don't tell them say the First Lady don't directly through in social media advise them not for go back na work, and he say they try until impersonally address the grievance them wouldn't get. Well, for sake of this, now this make Koidu Holdings say then they implement care and maintenance due to illegal industrial strike. This now the letter where they be write to Mohamed Tejan Mansaray, who don't they try forget for let it talk on this issue, but it seem not for comfortable yet for talk about this issue. But we will try for engage them and see what it will be your response.
You know, Khadija, this for me not come a surprise. The moment I begin to see the way how the issues then be they go, the play between the First Lady, the employee there, and the company itself, I saw this coming. Now just the time, I don't even know when they go actually come out and talk something like this. For them, they say na political influence, the First Lady don't they use, and according to them, this situation up don't reach, your side don't reach, so if the First Lady not been they interfere. But according to the First Lady, they're saying go there as daughter of the soil. We just hope say all of this and go able to forget over them, because anyway how you look at them, salon go lost because we mustn't generate revenue from them. And also, we look at the workforce. So many people they will need job. Now a lot of them didn't host because of this back and forth where they don't depend. They even indicate say the ministry don't intervene, but they're not able to settle still because of the First Lady. We just hope say behind the scenes then go able for amicably address this, because moving forward, I don't think they go create a very good picture, whether locally or internationally, for Sierra Leone, based on all waiting on they happen, whether not the right channel the First Lady they use, whether perhaps they miss something. What's in need for be done? Let them just do behind the scenes and ensure say the one day where they out of job, because now a lot of people where they talk about here where that part of the country be done they struggle, at least then they get side where then they go. But as it is now, they don't know us for months. We just the hope say the authorities then go do the needful and ensure say they resolve this matter. Whether Koidu Limited willing for continue with the operations in Sierra Leone, based on all waiting we as journalists them don't understand from all the deliberations them we don't they happen and all. But let them just ensure say the interest of the people of Sierra Leone then put them paramount and ensure say they resolve this amicably, and then do them as soon as possible.
All right, we continue with the breakfast show. Well, that's not be just one of the issues that they discussed. They don't get plenty to them where we they look at inside the breakfast show. As you all know, Salon day na the bottom na the happiness index we come out. Waiting at some of the things them where they make country them perform well na this happiness index. We can discuss that this morning. We get two analysts them. We go join me at the studio for can discuss what to make Salon continue for the na the bottom. Salon the second to last after Afghanistan, as the country they were not happy, and the people them then people them na the wall. We mean say we were the Salon we not happy. Waiting at we contribute to this, or get experts them in democracy, expert them in political affairs, where they can discuss some of their issues there, because the one they work in Ankaran country there, they get several things they would they look for. One, na good governance, democracy, human rights, freedom of speech. Now some of the things that this where they look for. And Finland now one of the countries them where they do very well now this index. They don't did it for 8 years consecutively, then they perform very well. And the country should say the people are happy, they get human rights, they get freedom of speech, they get good governance. Well, this we'll discuss inside the program this morning, but first let's look at the very first issue inside the program.
Yeah, we're gonna court, and they see Usai Sergeant 10769 we attach na the criminal investigation department na Ross Road police station don't go testify before magistrate Sakekura na Freetown Magistrate Court number 1, but waiting in no but a robbery case we happened between one Hassan Fona and Usman Kamara. Let me join Maria to Sheriff as he go updates you on that.
Magistrate Sakekura na the Freetown Magistrate Court number 1 don't send go back 27 years old Hassan Fona, where people can call Obio, when a bike rider go back na the male correctional center for where police alert say even thief money when na over 20,000 millions from one Usman Kamara. The accused Hassan Fona, they tina before the court on 3 count charge them we get for do with conspiracy to commit a crime contrary to law, robbery with aggravation, and assault occasioning actual bodily harm contrary to section 47 of the Offences Against the Persons Act of 1861. According to the particulars of offense na that, the accused Obio on the 8th January this year na First Street Freetown, being joined hands together with some other people them for commit felony to with robbery with aggravation. Count 2 states say the accused on the same date and place be used knife for thief Usman Kamara, one black bag, we get one iPhone, one Samsung A30, two Samsung S24, ultra mobile phone and other one them, wey all cost over 20,000 new loans, when a property of one Usman Kamara. Count 3 states say on the same date and place, the accused bin assault Usman Kamara, where the court be hidden charger to the accused. The magistrate not been take any plea from him. Now Inspector M. Taylor be the prosecute this case na court, and he been lead another witness inside this case when a Sergeant 10769 Amidou Conte, where attacked na the Criminal Investigation Department na Ross Road, Freetown. Sergeant Conte been recognize the accused and the complainant pan this case. He say on the 8th January this year, he be there on duty where the complainant with some other people be arrest the accused and go report this matter. Sergeant Conte continue say he been give medical reports to the complainant, and on the same day, the complainant be return back the medical report to the station. And he been produce the medical reports na court, and the court been record them as Exhibit A. He continue say that same day, he and Sergeant 96856 been question the accused pan Creole, and they may record them inside English, and say after they don't record them, then be read the statement to the accused, and he be agree say na from him, and he been signed with in thumb print. And say the statement be done in a police custody, and he been produced and sent am na court. He say on the 9th January, he and some other officer them with the complainant been visit the crime scene, and later them be return go back na in station. The accused not been get lawyer for represent am pan this case. Magistrate Sakekura not been agree for give bail to the accused, and we send am go back na the male correctional center. For Liberty Online TV, me na Mariatu Sheriff.
All right, we continue the breakfast show. Eudeka now in our studio as we get with two guests them this morning for come look at waiting at some of the issues them we make salon continue for the na the bottom na the happiness index we come out this BNTM outside the rank salon 46 out of 47 country them salon the second to last after Afghanistan. Waiting at some of the indicator them where the world can look for when they put together this happiness index. Now that's what they can discuss in the studio this morning. We get two analysts them. The first person we are going to introduce is Marcus Bangura, we in a political analyst and also a civil society activist where they talk on several issues them. Good morning, Marcus, and welcome to the breakfast show.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, we also get Melvin Tejan Mansaray, we a social commentator, a good governance advocate, and also a journalist. Good morning, Melvin.
It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning.
All right, we don't tell we viewers them about the index so they can analyze this morning with technician and go projector now. Let we see how the country then day accordingly, and salon day at the bottom it day 46 out of 47 country them immediately after Afghanistan, and we get other country them we then at the index. Finland day number 1, and according to research, Finland done did at this particular spot for about 8 years. And some of the things them we then can look for now issues of democracy, good governance, human rights, freedom of speech, and a whole lot of other things them we then they look for. But they start with you, Marcus. What thing you think say now some of the reason them we make salon continue for perform poorly na the happiness index, and if you dey watch within the na the internet, some of them people there within them country there, so the world can consider them say na sad people them. We mean say country that they perform poorly, all my within that country they not glady, everybody vex. Within are some of the indicators them.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is very, very, very important for the discourse because of relevance, not the world at large. And being that Sierra Leone, we did right to the bottom, I think, Sierra Leone 146. Then you get Afghanistan with the 147. You get Finland with the 1, and a lot of other countries in Europe, because now Europe dominates the scale we look at. Even America, they are about 24. The UK self now have big country, the 23. That notwithstanding, this is a very sad news. When you look at the historical perspective, this world happiest country that started in 2012. If you look at the statistics from 2012 to now, you see say we just go behind in the sense that we don't make any developments, but rather we push the go behind because we they call them a geometric retrogression, because we expect say with a lot of things that they go on. Or for don't say this country also in terms of happiness, for be happy. But when you look at you look at the nature way then do the parameters, it's quite different from other index that we don't get. For example, we talk about the MCC index. We not merely the people then in the meet and question them, but rather they look at policies passed, But when you look at this, now we self they give the answers to the questions already they ask, whether we're happy or not. The ordinary man, we make them very, very empirical, as compared to other areas there, because you meet the man on the street, you ask him question, I am happy or I'm not happy. You get a lot of things where you take into consideration for that. Income. Salon per capita income is low. It was about, I think, about 478 Leone per person. Because you talk about the per capita, you look at the whole people in the country, the resources want to get, you divide them. When you divide that particular amount, they want to get, one person they get about $478. We very, very, very small, So as a result of that, the per capita income is down. Then look at the issue of corruption and governance. We now one major issue we Salon face as a challenge for some time, for quite too long, but we always at an ebb. We very frustrating. So when you look at that corruption, the spate of corruption in the country, of governance, you look at, because we only talk about good governance and bad governance. The opposite of good governance is bad governance. And when you look at a lot of issues then, they find out, say, we governance system not well structured. If you look at the internal dynamics of the government, that is to say, party, business, like the SFPP, for example, currently in governance, you find out, say, the internal wrangling within the party, a major reason we undermine governance by a country. So that's one aspect that they also, you look at the issue of human rights. We know say there have been a lot of human rights abuses. And when you put all it together, even political instability, there are certain things that we treat with a pinch of salt. That necessarily they make people happy. Because if you look at the situation as it is, you look at the political situation in the sense that we conflicts. If you look at the past years, so say now you look stability is small, but we don't face a lot of issues in terms of political stability. All that's the way they put together for measure whether the people in the country happy. Sometimes people like you talk say, this government is greedy. When I say government's greedy because the flow of cash not the day, which they make me too happy. When then they go on, you look at the aspect of unemployment is huge. Because now when you get job, you well paid, you go happy. Even one day we get job, you understand? Now pittance, they get. Look at teachers all over the place. So they will not be happy. So another aspect before that, you look at access to education. And the access to education, it don't necessarily mean say that because education day, but the quality of the education. All these things put together among others, then there are parameters for measure whether a country actually happy or not.
So from your analysis, the reports not lie, it resonates to waiting actually they happen at the day-to-day life of Sierra Leoneans.
The results not lie. When you look at a very authentic, empirical in the sense that it's not about policies the way government they pass. Like you get the MCC. I'm talking about pass radical inclusion, we physically challenge for good school, you understand today, but in actual facts, if you check, you find out say there are lapses, and so you get free quality education. But this is about the people, and the people in the question. If they meet me, sometimes I know if they are aware, they ask me whether I'm happy or not. So that one good thing that's about this index, because now the people and they give the answers. And it's better the people give the answers than you meet certain institutions, individuals them, or state officials them, then you ask them. When you ask them, they give you the wrong information. But that person at street, when you meet her, you want to know about how it live, it give the right thing. So as a result of that, there is no way anybody will actually cripple this, except because of fanaticism. Right? But when you look at her, as fast as the ordinary people them, they ask. When I begin to look at this, I ask myself several questions. I say, why? I check the whole thing. Now Africa, because make you always like for assess now Africa. When you check all the African countries, we then take into consideration. I ask why Sierra Leone is unhappy than Guinea and Liberia.
Yeah.
You understand? It tell you say there are lots of things that they put into consideration: infrastructure, education, a huge lot of other things that they put into consideration.
You think say we governments they take this index seriously? Because if you look at them, for the past 3, 4, 5 years, we still also within at the bottom. When they pull the reports, they all side and don't they hear it, they know. You think so then they take their index here serious?
By all intents and purposes, government suppose for taken into consideration. But if we look at from the past years, then we look at especially 2018, because in 2012 the result was not too good. But eventually from 2012 to 2018 or 17, there was an improvement. Then immediately after, yes, hold on. Immediately, because now we get Salome, I think about 138 in 2012. That was the first in the world. We didn't do, right? Maybe they 138, but eventually to 2018, right, to 17, it calmed down. But after 2018, we see a kind of geometric progression. You understand? Like the country, they progress retrogressively. It will go up, right? So if you look at that, it means government not ever take this serious, right? The government is supposed to take it serious. They treat it with a pinch of salt. Otherwise, government for not double the efforts. And make sure say this report not fine. And one of the major functions of government, right, now the provision of socio-economic services for the people then, right? It don't mean say forget them free, but they make her in a way in terms of availability, in terms of affordability. But when you look at availability and affordability, it's far-fetched. So it's a very serious problem, and government not ever. In my own opinion and view, I hold on very strongly.
Continue for the way too. We'll come back to you shortly. Let me just bring with other studio guests in, Wayne and Melvin. I will just start to ask you, as a citizen of Sierra Leone, you don't see these reports, we don't come out, we down at the bottom of unhappy people in the world. Are you happy?
Having been banned from Parliament from January 10, a source of livelihood been disconnected. Personally, my experience, you don't need to ask me if I'm happy. The situation, the circumstances, already the detail why I'm not be happy. So, from a personal, and your question is very important because this report, well-being, basically talk about your personal opinion on your condition of living. So, I will tell you, say, I'm not happy, but I will tell you, Sierra Leoneans generally not happy, but it's by the grace of God. Because if you look at, for example, the economics, if you look at the political, if you look at freedoms, all of those things, they're so challenging. So personally, I want to say the report depicts my opinion. And again, like Marcus they say, we need to forget the background as to where is this coming from. Firstly, the world's #1 university now in the champion is Oxford. For the last 9 years, they've been on top. And the Wellbeing Center, it's an interdisciplinary professional body of all walks of life. And for the last, in 2012, they done do this report. And Marcus used one word. They are basing the reports on empirical evidence. So there's not any figments of imagination or just a perception. It's something where entails a lot of academic research and work. So this report cannot be discredited at all. And for the fact that United Nations, Gallup Institute of Pollsters, they're all involved, it's basically talking about World Happiness Day, which is on March 20th, and how happy is the world. And it's clear that Nordic countries are more happier. And it's clear that African countries are much more unhappier. So from a Sierra Leonean context, firstly, like I said, this report is indisputable. Basically, because you turn the microphone over to Sierra Leoneans, just go on the street. If you ask person, no more say you gladly, the person they expect you for that, in normal sense.
When you look at the analysis, how the researcher them go about for identify Finland, Denmark, the Netherlands as the happiest country them na the index based on how they rank them. One na that na Finland. Anybody 5 out of 10 people the way they meet up, everybody they smile. But country the way perform poorly, Afghanistan, Sierra Leone, all man where you they see na street, no they smile. Where they show say the people are not happy. And some of the indicators they look for quantify them to the happiness, now issues of democracy, human rights, good governance. All of them things there with the current happening in that salon. It is shown that the people in phases that make country the like salon way perform poorly in the index. Everybody in face twist.
Definitely, because although I said you not get any magic for no waiting person, I think at Shakespeare there is no, of course. So if you look the face normal, sometimes you know would say you the actual picture, but many people, by virtue of where you go on the streets, they say waiting the left now or standing at their face, and even some people can cry on their office or business places because of stress. All right, so of course, if we want to talk about the difference between we and then country that we mentioned, they are much more of a wealthier state. Unlike we. Welfare states in the sense that the government concerned about where person sick, what can be done, person in education, person where they work or not they work, how for cater for them. But for Sierra Leone, let's just look at employment as a yardstick. How many Sierra Leoneans get quality job? You know, just to mention earlier on in the opening, Koidu, they take, well then they retaliate to the industrial action. So if that person already did not say, ain't no get work, that person can be happy. And of course, you look about social safety net programs. You ask yourself, the last time I heard about social safety net program under NACSA, I don't know when last was that. But basically, it shows say, in as much as from the personal, people are not happy, but you ask yourself, what can be the drivers? And one of which have to do with governance ineffectiveness, poor service delivery. You go to a hospital, you get for strand, even if you get the money, person not gonna be happy. You go to school, you get for expected and get for activity for pay for pamphlets or extra charges. You can't be happy. So all of these issues put together affect we ranking so much. But in detail, Khadija, we for Marcus, you talk about we GDP. We are taught with the third least GDP, and we ranking na 529, as you really rightly say. So definitely, if person not get money in their pocket, you're not go glad Khadija. But let me look at the benchmarks then quickly where they use. One, life evaluation, average 3 years for the last 3 years. So if we want for piggyback, this is 25, 24, 23. You look at 2023. If you look at the report, 2023, in context to Sierra Leone, it was a political year, right? The report they tell you say political polarization is one of the root causes of people's happiness. And that can be apparently true in Sierra Leone. Look at the outcome of 2023 elections. How it end in disputes and how it put the country to a hold. So if there is political polarization, as in the case of other countries like America, they have not do very well, then come inside the first 20, it is obvious we end with a disputed elections, opposition say we're not glad, other side is okay, we move on. So that in itself definitely therefore speaks to the fact about within the happy Sierra Leone. But you look at also the rating from 2012 to now. So the examiners they not just look at 3 years, they look at progressive reporting. And I like the word that Marcus used. We've been progressively unprogressive in making strides with this report. It's quite sad. It's sad for a government where be making lofty promises in a manifesto. It's sad for people who will be very optimistic that, well, when we vote, change will come. And this report also they talk about how happiness affects people's voting behavior. So if this report is anything for go by, we should not be surprised why there was a dispute in the 2023 elections. Because if for the last 3 years people have not been happy, and then say according to the empirical evidence, if person not happy, it affects how you go vote, then no wonder we have a contested elections. But there is this other aspect also of the report where I think very much important for highlight. We got to do with the fact that, well, it talks about explanatory factors, social support. I'll just use a simple basic case study, social support. What has the government been doing on the Kush pandemic? What has the government been doing when it comes to alleviating poverty? What has the government been doing when it comes to providing its so-called 500,000 jobs? So if you don't have those social benchmarks in place, definitely the report itself, you say it's an explanatory factor that if you don't have it in place, definitely you will not be scoring well, and I'm not surprised. GDP per capita, we already know Sierra Leone is the third least LT life expectancy. You look at generally first the life expectancy in Sierra Leone compared to the sub-region. We on is, I mean, what is that, 40 or 50 something now? It's still compared to other countries that where they clock over 50. So healthy, the health sector, definitely we are still grappling with infants and maternal mortality. We are still grappling with low life expectancy. So if you don't have those benchmarks in place, definitely. And also you talk about freedom. Freedom, the simple analysis what I get for Dunaya, in Sierra Leone, it's a taboo for let people stage peaceful protest. And if you look at the report, freedom of expression, freedom of association, all these libertarian freedoms, if they are not being visible or the people are seeing or the feeler, then definitely no wonder why we did it. So the report is and I also talk about emotions. For me, academics are interesting. Emotions. Sometimes we turn a blind eye to this, how we feel. When you grab someone, so let's tell you say, from the report, Sierra Leoneans have negative emotions about their life. It's quite scary. And what did they say? It's like what we say, we stress. Emotionally we are stressed. And what does this also mean for security? It means the peace is fragile.
Yeah, because even when you work on a street, you hit somebody a little. The way they blaze, you still go to wonder, what type of way they respond that way. People are really not happy. But if we look at, if Nabine reports and where they come out, then Transparency International, Afrobarometers, anyone where like show anything clear, small, you go hear people glad in governance especially. But for this particular index, we don't come out. If we look at the past 5 years, for example, Salono don't perform well. You think, say, governments really they focus on this kind of index? Because if we want for change, we position na the index. Now, seeing them service delivery where government supposed for improve on, so that when they ask you citizen, perhaps they were able to say, are happy with this and that. You think so they take this index serious?
In theory, but not in practice. In theory, they're going to tell you say NAXA day, then get social safety net programs, then the benefits so people like when able to afford it. That is theoretical, and some people actually go say them benefit. But in practical, I will give you a simple case study. Sierra Leone and the use of one of traditional enjoyment in a salon and lantern. Ask yourself, when was the last time you see lantern floats parade? Some of them things I would take for granted, they mean a lot for people like happiness. Okay, so that's freedom for example, you see right now, I want to go to a beach for go relax. How much people can afford that? Talk about transportation, talk about cost and all that. So the government in paper go say so, but again, what are the policies in terms of making people happy? Do we have any happiness policy? How many recreational facilities that we get in Sierra Leone? How many things then where you go look points at say, oh, government establishes for let we just go happy? I think the only happiness park where we get in Sierra Leone, if it's not the amusement park, is the Victoria Park. Outside of that, if you want to feel happy, perhaps you go to a beach.
So as a nation, are we underrating happiness?
I think we are underrating happiness, and no wonder mental illness is rife in our society. Because we take and say, if you put number one your business, we've lost our humanity, and that's what the report is saying. Almost look at generosity. Maybe almost person in mind look you right now, it's like I can give maybe 1 million. Or say, Marcus, let's go for lunch. You know, I mean, someone go and do it. But you cannot give what you don't have, Khadija. So if people are not generous, and in fact this government is characterized by, well, this say Monday and short. It's part of what makes people happy. It's kind of be criticized APC, say, hey, APC they are corrupt. But you cannot, in terms of generosity from a state standpoint, you cannot compare it to SLPP. SLPP will tell you that, oh, we have policies in education, oh, we are delivering in terms of intellectual and elitist perspective. But in terms of the grassroots, the ordinary people, we are not feeling the deliverance. So I think many people need for go deliverance service if follow get this delivery where the government deliver. So for me, that emotional aspect is quite important. We see many people return to drugs, and if you do research, one of the reasons for drug addiction is stress.
All right, let's come to you, Marcus. When you look at the pattern at salon, the things that would make somebody happy. For example, a family, on a gonna restaurant, get good meal, on a gonna beach, just get a good life, drive 5 motorcar. For salona, then go if you do then go say, hey, this is money. That list man not able to afford all of them things there. But yet still people in governance get policy them, where them believe say now for give citizens a good life. But the index that they show say salon people that are the saddest people in the world. Who's the mismatch there?
Well, when you look at the situation, Sierra Leone, of course, we're not happy, and it's clear. Melvin mentioned the drugs, say Kush in particular. We understand, say, one of the major reasons then for that are because of frustration. You get a lot of people away, don't even graduate, relegate themselves to that particular level there because job no day. Now the issue of, for leverage that, the question, now the issue of sincerity, because governments, they paint a picture as if we are fine, as if everything is okay. They come with one safety network, Munafa, is that the name? Yes, and they big talk about that, but how many people actually benefited out of it? And who that then have been the targets? Because if you don't get party affiliation, it was very difficult for you forget them. And when it comes to division, right, the only thing they take into consideration, the political divide. When you say you satisfy certain group of people in terms of employment, if you take a move around to certain institutions there, you see the people that we work there, you see there is gross division. You understand? Because they cherry pick rather than for work in a particular place. I remember somebody tell me say one office, the guy in job now only for draw line. For just draw line the paper. You understand? When you get plenty of people out there, we never forget the job. So government in the first place forgets the political will and open mind, and for no say, this is Sierra Leone. And if it is Sierra Leone, it comprises of people, and now we all get the country. So everybody for be considered. But then not they happen. Because you look at, like I mentioned before, most times at the country, the Mano River Union, where it come in terms of fuel, salon get the most expensive. Now, for tell you say people are not happy in the country. Recently, we see where businessmen in Kana streets they demonstrate because of the price of container. Where they say governments they try for impose, say they for pay about 250,000. You understand? 250 million, which perhaps are almost $10,000. Then if you look at the people the way they go, sometimes like the one in Abacha, not that they get money, they keep put together. So which then they take for Canada $20,000. They tell they look at don't buy, which they don't pay, they get for pay for the ship about 10,000. Wait, put all the things they did together, which you make out of it, so you will not be happy. You see, when you look at even Kumbradem for good school, you understand, send a Pikin in a school. Look at what happened recently in a national Pentecostal school. You understand? How people are happy. We Pikin in school at the end of the day, they got missing and they die. Even the gender ministry not ever pull a statement or say we visit the people them. You understand? So how people go happy with that? Unemployment is higher than the one that we employ. You understand? People they suffer on the street. How could individuals in Sierra Leone be happy? They're not happy. You look at, they say we get free quality education. But then they come, when you go for admission, parents say they go to the extent of paying more. You understand? How people are happy. I look at, I say, I try to do a kind of a juxtaposition between Finland and Sierra Leone. I know say it's far from rich, but I ask, for liable for know. I say, what make Finland, happier than Sierra Leone? A lot of factors come in. You understand? One, the economy. Economy not stable. You understand? That's the one major factor they take into consideration. Melvin talk about life expectancy. You know, you look at all that today. What are factors? Infrastructure. These are the things you put in place. Finland, yeah, in theory, it is free. But they spend the free. I've been a teacher, I taught for a while. You know, that you look at the beginning they pay in terms of fee. You look at parents as well. You look at almost parents that they spend. It's not about just saying we get free education. Free education, you put them together, the amount of money not that big. You understand? So, yes.
But Marcus, another school of thought would tell you, say, happiness is a choice. You know, for allow something around you for influence, whether you want to decide for be happy or not. It's possible for let all of the factors that we don't make mention of this morning, let them not there at all at the picture for let somebody be happy. We talk about the economy, governance, and all of the things in there.
The issue of choice, now one of the determinants that we use. You understand? And in my own perspective or their own perspective, you forget liberty for choose which you want. You understand? You forget that liberty for choose which you want. You understand? So if you don't get the ability for choose which you want, so tell me for me as we come out, so you go and say for slag or relax side. You understand? But that choice they don't get for baker. Because look, they don't relegate our force like parliament, so the drag. You understand? So you look at that, you look at all the factors there, you understand? Eh? So it's not going to be possible. But I'll tell you, you're not going to be happy without them factors there. So for economy, fine.
So that slogan really where the boys and kids at the streets say man they're not glady.
Actually, so it's part of the assessment. Because the one that we do this assessment, now very strong academics then. Then take into consideration sociologists, psychologists. You know, when you say psychologist, right? Sociologist, right? These are the people where they actually conduct this particular which is FIASO, right? Because if you look Melvin, so you tell Melvin, you understand, eh? Like I remember who did for college, one Bangura Banks, that a medical doctor, if the guy saw which is that newspaper, the guy in newspaper. If you watch it, it tells you, for example, you get HIV. So there was always, you know, a kind of confusion, right? So psychologically, you look at somebody, we don't happy. Just like you mentioned something, you go work and I tell you mistake jam somebody. Even me, somebody jam myself, I need to talk now. Because if I talk, no problem for me back. You understand? Somebody hits you to tell the drive, they hit you to car. If you don't take time, they will kill you. So Sierra Leoneans are not happy because of this factor. And government for redouble their efforts. Government for ensure say them treat this particular issue as very serious. Because we expect the progress for day, not a retrogression. But we need the progress with the reports. From 2012 to 2017, right? The highest was 138 at that time. Now for this area, we have 140 no more, which is 146 now. Right? Because the countries of the world, about 147, where they do the assessment. Out of that, Salon Day all the way to 146. If you look at the Mano River Union, Cote d'Ivoire, right? Then they're 98 in the assessment. If you look at Liberia, they're 129. You see? So
this brings the question, all of them countries we make mention of, not third world country there, and country the Cote d'Ivoire, they self get their own issues, but then they perform a bit better than Sierra Leone, now the index. Also, you feel say the difference there? What then they do right?
One big question is they mention corruption and governance. Corruption and governance. We for try, we look at, we compare Sierra Leone and Finland. Corruption, business not today. So we own country for try for lower corruption. But rather, would they make corruption the high, corruption the go up. We look at the governance structure. You know, a very, very poor in terms of administration in various areas then. Until we able for correct the areas there. So now you look at governments, why you think the governments they impose a lot of taxes? Governments would expect say you get a lot of area for tap and get resources. You look at electricity, very poor. You look at the issue of safety or security, it's very poor because people are even afraid. You understand? Therefore, come and invest in the country because of which they go. So until we're able to address that, we look at their countries and they like Sierra Leone, we get similar challenges then. You understand? But in terms of infrastructure development now, you understand? In terms of governance, for since the war ended in Liberia, then get stability than we. since we war end, we don't get more of instability than Liberia. Guinea is a junta government, you understand? But Guinea, let's get some amount of stability, although starting term, you understand, we see crisis they come up. But it is easily put under control. Freedom of speech. We get freedom of speech, but we don't get freedom after speech. You go, you talk, and if we don't get criticisms being leveled or speed bump created for government or any individual, there is possibility to say that they go worse. You look at, for example, Liberia, when the people that said they protest against the former president, he was with them because I right for protest. But Sierra Leone, you look at the Public Order Act, they will firm even way a very clear say that we get rights, you understand, for protest. Look, the first lady led the protest. You understand? Now, Kono. So as a result of that, if only we go use that, we demonstrate that kind of thing for protest, because it's because we are dissatisfied. Look like which episode they say we're unhappy because we are dissatisfied. Because if you get satisfaction, it doesn't necessarily mean that if you get 100% satisfaction, it's not possible. Even in Finland, you understand? But that amount of satisfaction, for day, but day, it lacking.
Marcus, talk to Melvin before we listen to waiting the people that are the streets feel about this particular index. Salome being among the 5 least country, them at the bottom 5. Salome at second to last after Afghanistan. Now, an exact reflection of the people.
Yes, because the question, the microphone was turned over to the people according to the report itself. This is about people's perception, people's experience when they live, and therefore deal with their well-being, how they feel satisfied with their life and conditions around them living. So, of course, the point you describe, there is a nuanced point you're raising, which is, could there be any contradiction? I don't think so. There is only an irony in the fact that Sierra Leone was ranked one of the most peaceful countries, but yet still.
Far back.
Well, not too far back. I think one or two. I mean, in Africa, we are among the first 3, first 5. Yes, we were. Yes.
Ghana.
So you put that in tandem with, for example, Burkina Faso, other countries that will get military regime. You ask yourself why. Where the bigger question here is the absence of the guns or relative peace not mean say people in Gladio. So in as much as government say or international ranking, but they say, Sierra Leone is a peaceful country, but yet still it's a fragile peace. I use one diction say now like a Yebe kind of situation. People are on the edge, under a warm, but on top a cold. People are only waiting for the moment. And now I know why I try to understand why the governing class always they frown at people organizing protests. Because I tell you, Khadija, if people are not glad, even what is supposed to be a peaceful protest might turn violent. There is this conflict management theory that frustration by aggression, wherein if the person not happy, they go to say anything can frustrate her and make it turn to something else. So yes, that is an aspect for consider. But there is another irony we're going to talk about. Every now and then, MCC and other players will say that we are doing well in the fight against corruption and we have been ranked very high. But unfortunately, Sierra Leoneans in practice not believe say this is true. So we speak to the broader problem we're going to do it. The figures or the facts versus the reality. You can be having the facts and the figures, as we see this government, they're very good at data analytics. They say, oh, we don't create so, the economy has gone so. That is figures. How it translates into affecting people's lives is a big mismatch for the governance architecture. So we get very good laws, very good policies, but how then they benefit ordinary people and well-being? That is where we're getting it wrong. And the bottom line is governance ineffectiveness. Me, I'm not surprised. If you look at MCC for the last 5, in fact from APC era, we've been consistently failing on governance effectiveness. Why? Because in practice, things are not happening. But in theory, people are telling that, oh, this we don't do, this we don't do. So it speaks to the reality versus the figures. And we are getting it wrong also in that. Because if you say you depend on, oh, we are ranked high, we are doing very well in the figures, You go miss the reality, and the microphone always are the people that most ignorant.
Young people in life, they be wasted now due to drugs. There's this young girl where one power reporter then go talk to. What they watch in story, it really sad for them. It don't depress to the point now. It a thief people thinks them for just go take kush, ban on a man, in picking them. And that story then they not so peculiar, they bokusai. With all these reports, for sure say the people in Asalo really sad. Now indication of them things there.
Absolutely. There is this celebrity House of Star. Is she called Esba? That lady. Samira. When you look in video, it send a message past within the video that it tell you say on your own you don't try for come out of addiction, but you're not able. Of course, addiction is a personal choice. Let's not forget that you need to blame governments or institutions for that. But where we can fault institutions or the states is the fact that almost rehabilitation facilities do we have in Sierra Leone, apart of Christiad. They are not there. So if the person wants help, the government itself, in terms of providing social services in towards that direction of removing people from addiction, is not there. Do you think that person is going to be happy?
Get access to the drugs.
And the drug in proliferation. So if the government itself or institutions cannot curtail or fight drug trafficking or drug trade, if the government have facilities in place or services for pull people from addiction, of course that's an indication that people are not going to be happy. Because you see the lady crying at the video. That means they say not so yes, I contribute to, but in one for get out. But where are the institutions?
In all of this, Melvin, should the government be worried, saying people are not happy?
Of course, it's a time bomb situation. It's a threat to peace.
But are they paying attention to some of these index?
Well, I think that's why we are here, to draw their attention and call for action. Because at the end of the day, even the government's viability and sustainability is threatened. Now we know why we see an incident on November 26th. Why? Do you think if people in the forces are happy, they will turn to unorthodox means for take power? No. So the government self, they might see this as a political conversation. They might say as, oh, this is against our interests. But this, I tell you, their reports here, they affect every Sierra Leonean. Because not to APC no more than go talk to. Not to SLPP no more than go talk. They talk to Sierra Leoneans from nook and cranny, from all walks of life. So the governments foresee this not as a political report, but as a social problem waiting for be addressed. The more we get people away stressed, the more these people can turn to other means for sort themselves out. So it's threatening to the person with this kind of report, but it's also threatening to the states. And not only the states, institutions for look into some of these things. We need for prioritize happiness. You know, because we're also used to suffer.
But like you say, happiness is free.
Happiness is free, but there are drivers to make it free or not free. Kadisha, if you want car now, then you don't get fuel. Kadisha, if you want car now, so now you cannot meet light. You don't have now use happy one, but if you cannot get now office, you don't meet light. Can you be happy?
Exactly, like the current state of affairs now. I not go sleep and blackouts. The window clear begin laugh.
Of course, you hear mosquitoes don't fit. You hear hot don't fit. I mean,
so man are not gladdy.
Man are not gladdy, and the states must look at this with seriousness, because the implications are not just only economical, social, but again for do with security. And if you put that in tandem with the TRC report, don't be surprised. Some of these things were in the catalog of this report. So TRC we don't talk about along where they call them causation factors to the war. So when you say, okay, I can say, the politician that they use the rhetoric, oh, we are resilient people. I can tell people, when you see every politician say we are resilient people, that technically or indirectly, it's able to say, we are sufferers. It's a political rhetoric. That means we are sufferers. Resilient in what? We don't have choice because people don't get choice, but everybody get a choice. Maybe everybody wants to live a better life. But the states, institutions, and the individual get equal responsibility.
All right, Melvin, we can go na the streets of Freetown. Osai, Liberty been give the mic to some people for let we know exactly if this report we say Salone they second to last after Afghanistan for the country they were not glady, and the people them na the saddest people them. We can not just know, but quickly let's take break. We'll come back, we'll go talk to the people them na the streets of Freetown.
Ready for more options? The UVA Digital Experience. Same features on a bigger screen, same login on any device. Send money, pay bills, top up airtime and data. Manage all your accounts. Switch up the look. Save for your goals. Get insights on your accounts. Schedule upcoming payments and more. Visit internetbanking.ubagroup.com to get started.
Hey! Enjoy the new collapse bundle price drop. Now you can get your weekly collapse bundle for 6 millions only on Maxit app. Download the Maxit app now on Play Store or App Store. Install the app and enter your orange number and password. Now follow the simple step here. Open the Maxit app. Next, tap the account. Then select airtime and bundle. Enter the number where you want buy for. Now, choose the collapse bundle where you need and the one where go suit you. Finally, type your password. Bam! All things set. Subscribe to the collapse bundle today and enjoy more browsing for small couple.
Orange.
All right, we continue the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV, where they stream on Facebook, YouTube, and also now our website where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. In case you just they join we and you first stand this for Watch Liberty TV, one for say very big welcome to you as this now the only digital platform where they get correct news but different things them where they happen in a salon. If you don't follow we page it, kindly press the follow button. Yourself go there part of the 50,000 followers we Liberty don't get across Facebook and TikTok. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, it kindly go na YouTube, search for Liberty TV Online. You go see we there, you press your subscription button and put your post notification bell on so that any telco online, you go know say we don't come online. And we also there on we WhatsApp channel. Go na WhatsApp, go to channels, search for Liberty TV, then you go follow the channel as we can drop different content them now all we platform them. This is the breakfast show we they watch live and today we look at the World Happiness Index we being come out now the World Happiness Day when a March 20 every year. Also they rank salon 46 out of 47 country them we no happy and the people them then class then say na the saddest people them. Well now we go down on the streets of Freetown, also we reporter them, go give the mic to people them, follow we know exactly if salon people them no gladdy.
When I report and send, if you ask me like I ask me some my own view, I go look like say they might right. To my own perspective, the look of things, I believe say them correct. I'm not gonna say everybody, but most of the people are not happy, including myself who they talk. Because if you watch presently the potential youths them with future leaders them where we expect say in years to come, they will take we to who say we want for people. They're all going to drugs. So if you they see you know Sierra Leonean brother or sister, they go astray, so they die slowly with drugs. If you say yourself go happy, no. Now one reason I don't make me not happy.
Well, if I go say much, I go about CSAS and show happy because the situation they're going to the country. With the youth man, especially when they want transport, but they feel the strain and with the suffer actually. Because one, first with the one, now certain streets and over the one, with they get passenger and all the boats. They at least go one of the streets and they would able to get to get to family and can survivors. As long as they don't ban win at 32 streets, they will be CS. We expect them to ban win at some only inside PZ, inside Eastern Police. We go say okay. But then ban win at 32 streets, they be at least we able to take passenger go to them. Now the tension, policemen and now they want to they push win at street, push food passenger, they will go for don't take go back there. we lost 500,000. And all land are constrained to we, our family and the state.
Well, yeah, true. I would have said country the Unhappiest in the world. Because it's only 1 5 for me. Because with the bag, can you buy 2,000 million for cup, now at 10,000 for 2 cup. Right? Yeah, for the manage it from month to net, manage from month to net, manage from month to 2 o'clock, manage from month to 4 o'clock. And then the country that was for man, and the commercial was not happy for me. Because the country fine. You are already visiting yourself because the teaching and not get the country.
When any video get your opinion, so where they say Salon is the second or largest unhappy country, maybe not true or not true because we not justify. Although everything more than the country, we know the thing more. But for this Salon, I can't say but that's why they are not going to justify. Well, I'm not happy for now. Me and the soldier. The soldier will make a kind of future here. I don't can get 4 girls picking them. The second one they college. The big one they college. Now the money where they say for pay for that college fee. Now Papa they buy before they afford that money. Say money they don't they get me pension at 50.
All right. Well, that's now some people around Freetown where Liberty been give the mic and then give the reason them why them believe say yes, Salon na the second to last country where the people are not happy.
And then our reporter Hannah Bangura and the team been go out there for talk to people. I think, I don't know. Now we just come over to Marcus. When you look at the expression of the faces of the different people we reporter then talk to, what in kind of your mind?
Like he talks, the ice is not itself, but by the reflection of some other things. When you see the faces, where they're showy, in the interview, and the words the way they express, now it replicates the reports 100%, because it really should say they're not happy. We all not happy. It really should say we all not happy. A bad for the country, because the common man for be happy. You don't mean say them will get gentry, but if for happy, and for make we happy, you know, governments therefore do a lot of things them. Where we they carry on just now, something that kind of in mind what I feel say, if government's able for work or their while in day, we could be happy compared to other countries. That corruption business. If government's able for combat corruption, if governments not get secret cows, and where you commit the offense, make sure say they handle it properly. But the issue of politics, some people are with now the hem, you know, for fight corruption. When they get political ambition, you understand, they allow a lot of for compromise, right? Then also, of course, human rights. A lot of them people also they suffer so much for human rights, even health and human rights. Once you get issue, you go like Laconots, where you go first, the directive first one side, where you go pay for one just paper with the photocopy. You understand? You pay for that first. Where you go, every bit of medicine, you buy everything. And these are mostly poor people that make a use cannot. Understand? It's very difficult and challenging.
When you talk of poor people, if we look at happiness, we need to a situation wherein even the people where some man they refer to say the elites and this country, perhaps people in governance, so if you get access to majority of the resources, most of them you talk to off records, then go tell you say themselves not like.
No, yes, definitely.
How for manage that kind of situation here? We're not only the poor of the poorest, they complain say they're not happy, but also the one they within at the upper level.
The whole issue is in the hands of governments. Governments for able for overcome certain things them. But just similar things like this. For example, if you look at electoral integrity, now factor for the people are happy. You go through an electoral process in a very good way that I make. We talk about governance, we talk about electoral integrity, and one important aspect, youth unemployment. You understand? Then social inequality. There is social inequality and youth unemployment. If government's able to work on that, and I make them get Ministry of Youth, then focus for be say therefore able, you understand, for create employment. Not only live in the world of dreams and imagination. You can't tell people that will provide 500,000 jobs. At the end of the day, you don't provide 1,000 jobs. Understand? And you, the government, and one day we provide the jobs apart from government, like the institutions, them, you make them blabber. You understand? That a big challenge. Now look at what happened at Kono Holdings. Because of which it happened, the man himself, it possibly is a retaliation. Now we pay now. So it's right now better mining they go on. But that be the responsibility for continue for pay. You understand? Now you see what they happen there. You look at the issue of nepotism. Nepotism, they make people happy. If me, I know I qualify, me and Melvin, we all qualify, but just because of nepotism, it belongs to a particular set of people, you understand? And they get job, me know they get job. And people are not happy. Like I talk, you have elite people that are not happy. Because even at the office where they work, there is diversity in salary. Some man go, then just take I meet other man day. But you can they pay more than the one that we meet there. So you know create happiness, you understand? You look at limited, this is very important, limited accountability and transparency. Right? And we are a major aspect of good governance. And it's very lacking. Government will say we're transparent, but there are a lot of things that we're transparent. You know, look at this restaurant and say Chinese government get to salon. We don't ever know for years. You understand? So there is no accountability, right. There is no transparency there.
Quickly look into Melvin before we take people and messages and come back to now. You just don't watch waiting Liberty Pool at the streets of Freetown. The people themselves accept it, they themselves not happy.
Because well-being is defined as a state of being comfortable, healthy, or happy. So if you, I mean, the one thing that you cannot hide for, you cannot run away from it. If you are not happy, you are not happy. And one area I would downplay, Khadija, now the importance of entertainment and recreation. It's quite important. How most people get time for get entertained. You know, you remember for go do entertainment so you angry. So fighting hunger also is quite important. How the person go fight hunger, where the person not get job. So they are all interrelated. But again, we talk about government. I mean, look at the problems. Talk about housing, Khadija, house rent. Many working class, they work for the year just for pay house rent. That cannot make you happy. So the government, according to the report, they are talking about what policies they have in place because they get very clear parameters. They talk about cause, effects, key drivers of well-being and how well-being affects other outcomes like productivity, educational performance, and voting behavior. Policy and intervention. The government need to look keenly at this aspect of happiness and what policies can be tailored down that road. And not see we get any clear policy because social safety net is one of the drivers, but that is not clearly talking about, for example, for them picking and everything called right to play. For the adults, what do we get? Nothing. So the government will look at this as a very serious issue. International and local organizations, they also, almost organizations, they really target efforts towards making people happy. They are less or not even existing. So we need to tailor down that road. And of course, the person itself, you yourself get a choice for make yourself happy. Yes, institutions for help, the states for create the amicable ambience and environment, but the person is, it's about individualism too. You self get for make yourself happy because if you look at the prevailing circumstance, there is no way people are going to be happy. So for the government, they must have specific happiness policies in place. Like one day in the year, say, okay, today we want to make less salon people and gladdy. There are so many forms to make people happy. In Bhutan, the report they tell you, Bhutan, it's a policy. They have several activities gearing towards boosting people's happiness. But salon, man remember what you go eat, you tell about happiness. In fact, you tell people about happiness, it's an insult. Like for me, don't come on, I'm using I think about I have to look after my kids' lunch. I have to take care of other things. You can't tell me for say maybe you need for happy. If also holiday, Sierra Leoneans are only happiness is when it's holiday period.
Is there any way among us as citizens where we go able for help we self navigate through this?
The sense of humanity. They come back to generosity. God not give people for because of you want for give them. I can't for realize say once you make Muslim in the fast, now for let the rich understand the plight of the poor.
Let the poor understand the plight of the rich. So, in as much as yes, philanthropy, how much philanthropists that we get these days in Sierra Leone? Genuine philanthropists there. We're not so because of political ambition. So we the upper class. None of our guys, this is a global problem. There is a report where say the one that will get the world's resources, the richest people in the world is just 1%. So if you don't say you're rich enough, it's your duty, it's your moral duty also for help the poor. So that aspect of we humanity would all also. Now even the money man self now is afraid for letting us slip into poverty. But that is not the essence. God give you for let you help others, and that is the sense of humanity.
Recreational entertainment, that's very important.
It's very.
Beside the time, you go say beside the time, I get picky the way you just say, Daddy, I want to eat. You understand, eh? So they want make we go out. What's that? Keep for go pass a good beach.
Yeah.
All I said, I remember go window na bibia. The mall left first.
Yeah, the park.
Saturday, the park.
Yeah, exactly.
You will just sit down and say, well, make we go stroll. Yeah. You go stroll. You know what now? I'll tell you.
And some countries like culture. Family then they eat weekend now.
Yeah.
Oh,
once you want to learn something about this, they say which is the show happiness. Now where you get 3-4 people there or 5 people there together. Mm-hmm. If America say the hit there once I say America it's not easy for make somebody call somebody say for
this fear.
The individual people.
Possibly the working as the freedom company say this is a terrorist. That's why they sleep outside of the first 20.
Yeah. All right, now we look at text messages them where people they don't send now. The first one they take now na Facebook, they come out from Karim Kamara. It says freedom of speech is the root cause because if you allow citizens to vent out their challenges and the government build conversation to discuss and find solution, it will be clear that the citizens can understand government challenges which together profile practical solutions that will impact the citizens positively. But for people that brings out the issues are branded as opposition and face intimidation or incarceration to Great Pademba Road.
All right, look at more messages. This very first one I go look at from the YouTube channel. Brahma Sandy, they say this report should be a guiding tool for the government to address the concern of citizens. Lights and water no day. How we go talk about happiness? Talk less of jobs for the young graduates. Government, please pay attention.
Musa Al-Hassan Kamara, they say liberty. How will you expect Sierra Leone to be performing well when the economy is on a life support? Political landscape is a mere mess. Judiciary is biased and skewed. Sierra Leone is above Afghanistan because of the Taliban rule.
All right, we look at more. This other one from George Pius Nicole, we sim for the Nayon Lane. It say, I am happy because of the peace in Sierra Leone. What else?
Monty K say, absolutely, Melvin, you are spot on. It's crucial for Sierra Leoneans to prioritize mental well-being, which encompasses tackling mental health challenges, traumatic experiences, and psychosocial issues. Politics and human rights should not overshadow this essential conversation. When individuals like okay, I will not have to call somebody name, we for ask for right for reply, can communicate, all right.
Look at more, Suleiman Kamara on the YouTube channel. It says lower levels of satisfaction in social support, lower satisfaction with living conditions, greater stress and anxiety, lower trust in government, and higher perception in corruption.
This one, they say, Mohamed Kamara says, since I graduated 2023 with a distinction, no job. So how can I be happy with man I have a family to care for?
Cecil Taylor Freeman, Celibacy TV is not only home-based Sierra Leoneans that are unhappy. Even Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora are very unhappy with the governance system, the economy, insecurity, and drug scandals.
Usfran Kamara, they say the reflective thought leaders must employ is the reflective slogan, if it's you. In slums, ghetto, blind with children, no better health and good place to lay your head, clean water, etc., etc. If it's you in such situations.
Fakonde Jawara say Melvin is one of the Sierra Leoneans that is not happy.
That's about you.
This one is a Melvin, please continue the good work and never back down for anyone, no matter the circumstances or challenges you are facing now.
At J na the YouTube channel say, I guess all of you in the studio are not happy. Allah sorry for we nation.
All right, one more, then we'll come back in the studio and wrap up. This from Ibrahim Lansana. They say good governance is characterized by strong institution, transparency and accountability. These positively correlated with high level of happiness.
The final one we may go take regarding Liberty TV, Mr. Kekura 007 say, thank you, Liberty TV, for a job well done. At 24/7, good for information from Master. Very proud of you. I think they talk with regards to we figures them where they grow, and we ask that to continue for like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we will continue for break the grounds. And a lot of messages we don't come in this morning. Melvin, I see the laugh and so many messages seem for feel so like you are not happy.
Yes,
is it that serious?
Of course, it's serious. I mean, I will give you my personal experience. During at least the first week or two where the speaker announced me ban, I was almost slipping into depression, honestly, because I lost sleep. If I ever need for seek medical help, and I ever take medicine for sleep, I ever begin to take medicine for sleep. And guess what? If not to God, good people around you and grace of God, for we don't suffer some serious problem, because medically, my doctor will tell me, say, Melvin, if you continue like this, you might develop low blood pressure. So that is my own personal experience as to how some of the things that we take for granted, they affect with psychological states of well-being. I'm not happy, but should that be a deterrent for me not for doing my job? That is just what it is. Now the country will fend itself. Because this speaks to the broader fact. No wonder U.S. ambassador, they tell you, say, Bokuma, where they go story. Bokuma, where they go, another one for comeback. Why? Because the unhappiness factors then two Bokunaya. But again, you have a choice to make. If I for be one for happy, maybe instead of don't go be father. But I know say, I think father they're much better there in the church. Or if we don't find a profession where much more, because again, the profession where you defend yourself, it got to do with you happiness or unhappiness. So certain job they really do. Marcus, if you are a pilot, your happiness level cannot be to that of the journalist. Too. If you are a lawyer, your happiness level cannot be to that of the fisherman. So your profession also can contribute to your happiness. I agree with that. But the bottom line remains there is a concordance. Nobody not talks in the report. Even that part, we try for afraid for stating position. At the end of the day, you see it come out. This is a thing you cannot like I said, you cannot not to help you to politicize. The reality, not the reality. So for the fact that all the people already send the messages they want to talk to, then they agree.
But John Pius Nicole at the YouTube in saying glad because peace day.
John Pius Nicole, I'm about to tell you say that now you be peace with the enjoy so. Wherein people are frustrated and they are stressed. That peace they can turn to anything at any time. Go and read the TRC reports. And then when they do conflict, is this peace and conflict? There is a theory called frustration by aggression. Not so because God not the fire, not so because if you get relative peace, mean to say you can take it for granted. And that is the problem. And I think that is the perception way for change. Because if you can say because all my wear fine clothes, people can get fine in your style, bab fine, they work on the streets. That mean they say, no gun, not the fire. So you mean, I mean, that is not an excuse. So if you are, that is a distraction and a deviation tactics. I don't know where you come up from, but if you come up from, say, because of everything peaceful, so you are happy. Peace is one aspect of happiness, but happiness doesn't mean peacefulness, no. There is a thin line, but there is a distinction. You can be peaceful, but that doesn't mean you're happy. You have no choice. You just get to be peaceful. Because of you have to respect the rule of law. You know, say there are things where will bring you to order. But that doesn't mean to say when you suppress your sorrow, like I say, bury your sorrow. That doesn't mean to say you're happy. So, George, yes, peace is good, but unhappiness is a threat to peace, security, and stability.
And at this time, waiting government for land from some of the index here where they come out.
I think the government will go back to the drawing board. they should not dispute the report, but ask themselves what can be done. And in this case, we need to have policies, we need to have facilities for make people happy. Sometimes you go to the number, you feel happy, but we not get them. So first policies, facilities, and for we the Sierra Leoneans, the SSSF, we understand that there is a vast gap between the haves and the have-nots. And in so doing, not only government or institution, we SSSF will try for reduce the gap. If you know you have more than enough, you know see your neighbor the suffer, you know EPA. You know, we need for be helpful to ourselves. We need for see ourselves as human beings. Ask yourself, that person waiting us really big. What if not be me? That picky will not get thing for it. What if not be me picking? So we need to get generally now a sense of humanity back, where we all lost as a result of multiple factors, institutional, governmental, and personal.
All right, Melvin, let me just wrap up with Marcus. What do you think say need for be done as soon as possible? If not for address everything because it will take time, but as soon as possible, waiting at the short-term thing and government for focus on if you want your citizens and for be happy.
Yes, we get a lot to be done if really government, because they get the will, wants the people and for happy. But before I start the ball rolling on that, Pius, they talk about as far as peace day. Now, if you do a kind of account for check and proper, Salone are the 8th happiest country in Africa now. Before, Salome don't do one Africa. But that old record, that man and just grab, you understand? Let them go further in research. How we reach from 4 Sobinde to 8. You understand? That is tell you say we are not happy. Are they in line with this particular report? You understand? So looking at it in a very general perspective, government, we say, is like a cow generator. You get the president at the helm of affairs. It is a kind of collective responsibility on the side of government and also individuals, not the states. But the load there on government, because and then they pass policies, then also parliaments, because government generates policies, pass on a parliament for become law. So when you look at we don't get nothing other than put governance structures in place. You understand? We need very strong institutions, not powerful individuals, as Barack Obama once said. Right now, if you look at we institutions, them. The individuals within institution, they are more powerful than the institution itself. We get judiciary, for example. The judiciary gets very important role for perform because the aspect of justice is very, very important in the state. If you twist and turn justice, the possibility for make the other departments they're okay will be very, very difficult. You understand? So the judicial system therefore actually ensure say you then do a lot of things because you get the judicial system, get the judiciary itself, you get the police, you get the prisons, you understand? Now aspects we go make people in a saloon happy if at all the judiciary actually double in efforts. You look at other parameters in governance, right? You don't talk about the institutions then. What about looking at the because now one thing way they make we extremely unhappy. Government just need for work on that. You understand? Say human rights, you know, like universal rights. There is no need for us to make a segregation because once you make a segregation, you get the tendency for make people then go haywire. For example, let's say you can dehumanize somebody. You understand? To an extent that it becomes demonic. And the reaction of that person there, you understand, will be very detrimental to the state. So if you look at that, we address the issues of institutions then. We look at issue of electoral integrity because it's for all of us. Make always, if you go back to history, right, me say democracy gets a breakdown will lead to crisis in the country in 1967 because during that period there was an election, one side win, the other side say nothing. From that Sunday, that pattern, that trend, they don't carry on. People like kind of governments, they get the way how they do. So it's very, very bad. Government get for look at governance structures, make sure they put them in place. If we do so, then I feel so will be free. Who self don't go mention we. Like better side way, me and Melvin self go smile. We all have smile.
All right, many thanks, gentlemen. We're not joining at the studio this morning for can talk about the World Happiness Index, a survey where researchers then do for country them in the world for know how the people them waiting in their country are so they live, if they're happy or not. And salon, they na the bottom 5 among Afghanistan, Malawi, Zimbabwe, and other country them where them believe say na the least country them we not happy. We begin Melvin Tejan Mansaray, a journalist and also a social commentator. We get Marcus Bangura, a political analyst and also a civil society activist. We don't discuss some of the indicators them we make salon continue for the bottom 5. And country they like Finland for the 8th year now in a row, then they top the happiness index. So means say they happy pass all the people in the world. Well, now they end the breakfast show for today. Continue for Watch Liberty TV throughout the day. We'll get different content them within our page. Very interesting one them. So if you not put your post notification bell yet, now for put her on so that anytime we put any content, and gradually we try now for day up and running for 24 hours with different contents that will report and together from all over the country. Liberty go to bring on a content. Hopefully with time and the resources and the manpower will go begin function 24 hours. And this will want to honor viewers them 50,000 across Facebook and TikTok. One for say on a thank you. We don't make progress and we can for redefine the digital journalism. We want to say thank you. Princess Pierce now produced this edition of the Breakfast Show. Musa Saukoma, Dennis Kamara, Samuel Thomas, na the technician, they own another see, but I support the production team for bringing on all the programs them on Liberty TV. Mina Khadija Bangura say have a blessed day.
Right. And as we continue for grow, members say yourself where they out there they watch we on a daily basis. Feel free for ensure say anything they happen at your community or anything you feel say the public need for no way for take up. Feel free for drop your message in a +232 74 200 545 on any of his social media handles them, be it the official Liberty Online TV handles them or any of we workman them where you know say you're able for reach. Feel free for reach we so that we will get the coverage and bring and come to the public as they happen. Mabel Kabade, so get a good day and goodbye.
Develop city, then clean, all clean city, develop.
This is Yvonne Akisoya, Mayor of Freetown. And today, I want to talk to Freetonians about sanitation. We objective, transform Freetown, transforming lives. We not go able to achieve them if we all not join hands. Freetown City Council get role, but every Freetonian also get responsibility. Let we start first with the fact say FCC with the sweep 110 major streets every single morning from Monday to Saturday. But when we don't sweep the streets, if Freetonians then come and they continue for heap dirty in the street, in order to make the place look fine. Now make we get them litter bins them. The yellow bins we wanna go see around. So in the waka, you drink from your water bottle, your water plastic, you eat your packets on tin. Not even a ground where you done. Make sure say you put on one of them bins then they. That litter bin they. In order for you host dirty. You know mean say if you pack you host dirty, you can pin her next to the bins them. Not to the idea that. Not give you host dirty. To them one way the Allah say clean salon, clean salon. No say that dirty way they collect now you host. In order for Karango, now the one of the two official sites. In order Karango Kisi Bome, in order Karango King Tom Bome. It turns so it left on the ground. And now we council get a problem, but you said get a problem. Because now front somebody else in Domot, your own dirty don't end up. So wait you for do with you host dirty. We get the one then a council when we don't certify. Say then approved waste providers. Then they on tricycles, some of them they a vehicle. You will get host, you will get business, you in a hospital, institution, everybody for make sure say their waste collected by an approved FCC waste collector. We get the tricycle groups, we get the companies, so you go see them around. We engage with them on a regular basis. And wait till we go do now as we come into this new year. Now for make sure say FCC stand behind them for you for no outside and day and for let them go to you so that we no go get that gap. When you eat dirty in a gutter, it end up na Lumley Beach, Toke Beach. All the tourism ambition where we get for the city, we lost that potential there. FCC, they spend boku money pan dirty business. The fuel, the labor, the vehicle maintenance, the spare parts, the night operations, the illegal dump site clearing where we get for the do every now and then. All that boku money, I'm not going to say we're not going to spend anything, but we're going to reduce some. If Fritonians then do the right thing. Because we're not going to get for go clear illegal dump sites. We're not going to get for sweep as many streets and spend as long. So if we reduce that money we spend now on dirty business, we go able put some on development. We all want for improving municipal schools. We want improving markets them. We want for let we see new developments at the city. That money where we use for dirty business, you and while we all make up we mind. Pay.
You are watching Liberty Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV.